You wake up just before dawn, your body screaming in pain, the freezing ground digging into your back like a bed of knives. Coughs, muttered curses, the clink of metal, and the sharp smell of wood smoke fill the cold air. Men are on the move, boots scraping, gear clinking, voices sharp in the dark. You are a Roman legionary, and the next 24 hours will hammer your body and mind until something inside you either breaks or becomes unbreakable. Rome is legendary for its glory. What history books rarely show is the savage price paid long before any enemy blade touched you. Soldiers bought that glory with blood, sweat, endless miles, an ironclad discipline that still shocks modern historians. They compare the Roman legionary's life to today's special forces, how weak accept. This one never ended. It lasted for 20 brutal years of service. In this video, we'll live it with you, hour by hour. From the first cold breath of morning until the dead of night. We'll march, dig, train, eat, and stand guard together. By tomorrow's sunrise, you'll understand why so many men beg to go home, and why the ones who stayed forged the greatest empire the world had ever seen. The day begins while it's still pitch black. The wake-up call slices through the air of the piercing notes of the bush. No gentle alarm, no second chances. Vegetius made it brutally clear. The schedule yanked every man out of his comfort zone. You have maybe 5 minutes to be fully awake, on your feet, and in formation. Any slower and the Optio will be inside your tent, vine staff cracking across your back like lightning. Just a painful reminder the Roman army waits for no one. You slept in a Papilio tent with 7 other Menda Contubernium. You share everything. One man fails, the whole group pays with extra duties or beatings. That invisible bond of shared suffering was one of Rome's smartest weapons. You're fumbling in the dark for your Caligathos' famous hobnailed sandals. Engineered like a miracle, open top for breathability. Iron studs that let you march 30 kilometers a day without the soles falling apart. 2,000 years later, they're still dug up, almost perfectly preserved at Vin. You strap on padded under armor. Then your Larica segmentata plates 9 to 11 kilos of iron and leather. It feels like a coffin at first, cold and heavy against your tired skin. Add helmet, greaves, heavy scutum shield, Tepila javelins, and camp gear. Total load, 22 to 30 kilos. Your shoulders already ache with familiar protest. It's 4:30 a.m. You're forming up for roll. The centurion walks the lines, eyes sharp as blades. Miss your name, and the finest 2 days pay or worse. Polybius wrote that no other army maintains such order. By 5 a.m. you get what passes for breakfast. On campaign, fires stay tiny to avoid detection. Cold bucellatum biscuits, emmer wheat mash, olive oil for everything, Posca vinegar water, and maybe a little salted pork. 4,000 calories burned daily. Caesar noted his legions marched 4 days on short rations and stayed not because they were superhuman, but because the system trained them to treat exhaustion as normal. You choke it down in 15 minutes. The bushina sounds again. Time to move. This is where Rome's real edge appeared. Mobility. The standard march is 28 kilometers in 5 hours with full kit. Today you're carrying 40 kilos deep in hostile territory. You march in file of 8. Staring at the man ahead, the rhythmic bounce of his helmet, sweat already stinging your eyes, despite the early hour. The musicians set the pace with tubas and cornua. Every note has a command advance. Halt, wheel, form, battle line. You become a human machine responding instantly to sound. The road might be perfect paved stone or a muddy track after rain. Either way, you keep the exact pace. No straggling, no helping fallen comrades, unless ordered. Blisters form by the 10th kilometer, raw and burning with every step. But you march through the fire. By 10 a.m. you've covered 15 kilometers. Heat, dust, or humidity becomes your silent enemy. Dehydration has killed more legionaries than enemy arrows. At noon the column halts not to rest, though every muscle screams for mercy, but to build a full marching camp. After 30 kilometers with 40 kilos, you dig the V-shaped ditch, raise the rampart, and hammer in the stakes you carried all day. A full legion finishes in about 3 hours. By 3 p.m. you've marched, dug, pitched tents, and stowed your gear, and the day is still not over. Afternoon means training, weighted wooden gladius drills against the palest post, until your arms burn and shake uncontrollably. Testudo formation that must lock in seconds under shouted orders, and the brutal decursio another 20 kilometers at speed. After everything you've already done, this is the moment many men feel the true crushing weight of the legions. By 5 p.m., the camp finally slows. Dinner brings lentils, onions, garlic, cheese, and issued wine. You eat with your contubernum around the fire, the warmth finally reaching your aching muscles. Veterans share stories of past battles, promised land back in Italy, and the unofficial wives and children. That precious hour of talk, laughter, and camaraderie kept morale alive through years of grinding service. At 6:30 p.m., the guard roster appears. You draw the worst shift midnight to 3 a.m. You stand postuciel dan gladius. No sitting, no leaning, no closing your eyes, even for a second. Sleep on guard means death by your own tent mates, with clubs and stones. The system was merciless and it worked perfectly. BDSP. Dem. Most men try to sleep, but tonight is different. Tomorrow brings battle. You check your sword edge again and again, run through shield drills in your head, whisper prayers to Mars and Fortuna, stomach twisted in knots. You're not a machine. You're a farmer's son from Italy who signed up for steady pay, and now wonders if you'll ever see home again. Then, at 4 a.m., the Bushina sounds the alarm. The enemy is moving. In under 10 minutes, the entire camp is armed and formed in perfect ranks. 5,000 men rise from sleep and stand ready because they've drilled it hundreds of times. That is the quiet miracle of Roman discipline. You stand in the pre-dawn dark, exhausted, feet shredded, fear clawing at your throat, but your line is straight and your mind is locked. The training replaced panic with automatic response. It turned ordinary men with ordinary fears into an unstoppable war machine. In those 24 hours, you've lived the hidden truth. The legions weren't invincible because soldiers felt no fear. They were unstoppable because the system made fear irrelevant. It took farmers, craftsmen, and boys, put them through a meat grinder of repetition and shared suffering, and turned them into something far greater than the sum of their parts. Next time someone talks about the glory of Rome, remember what actually built it. Men who woke in the dark, laced their caligae with steady hands, shouldered 40 kilos, dug ditches until their hands bled, trained until their arms gave out, and still stood ready when the horns called them to battle. Tell me in the comments which part would have broken you most. The endless march straight into camp building, the night watch that steals your only sleep before combat, or the alarm sounding at 4 a.m. when you realize today might be your last. If this helped you feel the real human cost behind Rome's legends, smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Legionary. Until then, stay hard. Stay hard.